These celebrities went from millionaires to mere memories. In this video are 20 Nigerian celebrities who went broke after making millions. Starting off on the list is Femi Opabumi. Femi Opabumi was once the shining star of Nigerian football. From his sensational debut in 2002, where he scored a goal in a 3-0 win against Kenya, to his unforgettable hat-trick against Australia in the 2001 Under-17 World Championships, Opabumi was on top of the world. With accolades like the bronze ball and silver shoe, he was a force to be reckoned with. By his early 20s, he played for European giants like Grasshoppers, Zurich, and Chamois in the tour, and made history as the third youngest player to feature in the FIFA World Cup. But tragedy struck when in the middle of a match in France, Femi suddenly lost vision in his right eye. Diagnosed with glaucoma, he sought treatment from top specialists across Europe, spending millions in search of a cure. Yet, no doctor could offer a solution. In a cruel twist, Femi's vision deteriorated, his football career ended, and he was left destitute, unable even to afford a flight back to Nigeria. His former teammate Osaze Odemege helped him return home. Now at 21, retired and blind in one eye, Femi survives on the kindness of friends and family, coaching young talent in Iwo, Osun State. A career lost, a dream shattered, Femi's story is a tragic reminder of how quickly life can change. Next is Mr. Mehdi. Once the toast of the music industry and signed to the powerhouse Square Records by the famous P-Square duo, ruled the airwaves with his hits like Cool Temper, So Many Things, and Got Me High. His music made us dance, groove, and believe he was living the dream, swimming in millions. But behind the beats and catchy hooks, a tragedy was unfolding. Suddenly, the once celebrated artist hit rock bottom. Rumors swirled that he was begging for money online, but the shocking truth came when a waitress accused him of dining and dashing at her hotel. Mehdi, initially in denial, shocked fans by admitting the truth and apologizing for the 11,000 naira debt, promising to pay at the end of the month. The story took a darker turn when Mehdi revealed he had made no money from all his hits, all earnings going to the Okoyes, and he was mistreated by them, even forced to live in their boys' quarters. Jude Okoye, when interviewed, denied all claims, calling Mehdi greedy. After leaving Square Records, Mehdi disappeared, until recently when he found a lifeline with Davido's DMW label. It's a comeback, but the scars of betrayal and hardship remain. Next up is Wilson Oruma. Once the shining star of Nigerian football, is a tragic tale of glory lost and trust betrayed. As the captain of Nigerian Under-17 team that won the 1993 World Cup in Japan and a key player in Nigeria's Olympic gold medal victory in Atlanta in 1996, Oruma seemed destined for greatness. With stints at top European clubs like RC Lens, Marseille, and Servette, he had it all: fame, fortune, and a bright future. But just when retirement seemed on the horizon, Oruma's world shattered. A devout man, he started an evangelical mission, distributing gospel books and making generous donations. Unfortunately, his faith in people led him astray. In his quest to secure his future, Oruma invested 1.2 billion naira into a business deal promised by a Lagos-based pastor and a fraudulent oil businessman who promised quick returns. Days turned to weeks and weeks to months, but the promises were lies. Devastated and penniless, Oruma spiraled into madness, overwhelmed by betrayal. His mental state deteriorated, leading to a breakdown that landed him in the hospital. Though he's now recovering, the scars of trust lost and fortune gone will forever haunt the once legendary footballer. Next is Cynthia Morgan. Cynthia Morgan, now known as Madrina, was once the queen of the Nigerian music scene. Her electrifying fusion of hip-hop, dancehall, rap, and pop, leaving fans in awe. Hits like Lead Me On and Don't Break My Heart catapulted her to stardom, earning her awards such as Best New Artist and Female Artist of the Year. She also ventured into acting, debuting in The Wrong Number, and later starring in The Trip to Jamaica, where she brought her character to life with ease. Her love for luxury cars, including the Range Rover SUV, which was stolen but later recovered, added to her larger-than-life image. But then, silence. Fans noticed her sudden disappearance from the music scene, and rumors swirled. The truth was far darker than anyone could have imagined. In a tearful Instagram live video, Cynthia revealed the painful truth. Conflict with her former boss, Jude Okoye, had nearly destroyed her. She claimed that despite being the face of Northside Records, she was never paid, living on noodles while her label made millions. She lost her stage name, her accounts, and her spirit. Depression almost claimed her life as she battled an illness in Benin, her world unraveling. Now, Madrina's silence remains a tragic reminder of how stardom can sometimes turn to dust. Up next is Solid Star. Joshua Nyenzo, better known by his stage name Solid Star, was once a shining star in the Nigerian music scene. Born on November 8, 1988 in Delta State, he started his journey as a drummer in a local church before bursting into the limelight with his hit track One in a Million, featuring the legendary Tubaba. With tracks like Oluchi featuring Flavor and Wait with Davido, Solid Star was on top of the world. His popularity soared and he quickly became a national sensation, touring the globe and raking in millions. But just as quickly as he rose, things began to crumble. Rumors circulated about his sudden withdrawal from the limelight, and it wasn't long before the heartbreaking truth surfaced. Spotted on the streets of Lagos, disheveled and unrecognizable, it was revealed that Solid Star had fallen victim to hard drugs, particularly ice. His addiction drained him, leading him to squander all his earnings. His brother, Joseph, pleaded for public help, and Nigerians generously supported his recovery. Though Solid Star is now back on his feet, he struggles to regain his place in the industry. The tragic rise rise and fall of this once promising star serves as a haunting reminder of how quickly fame can slip away. Up next is Mr. Ebu. John Okafor, better known as Mr. Ebu, was the heart and soul of Nigerian comedy, a legendary actor who made us laugh through some of the most iconic films in Hollywood. From Mr. Ibu to Storekeeper, he entertained millions, leaving behind a legacy of unforgettable characters. Mr. Ebu was not only a comedian, but a sought-after actor, starring in over 200 films. His humor touched the hearts of Nigerians, young and old, earning him awards like Best Comic Character at the 2012 AMVCAs and a prestigious member of the Order of the Federal Republic (MFR). He also built a solid business empire, owning shares in hotels, retail stores, and a fleet of luxury cars, including the BMW Exis and the Mercedes-Benz GLE. But in his 50s, a cruel twist of fate occurred. Diagnosed with diabetes, his health began to deteriorate. In 2023, an infection led to a necessary amputation, and despite public donations, the surgery drained his wealth. After battling for his life through 5 surgeries, Mr. Ebu passed away on March 2nd, 2024, leaving behind a void in the hearts of millions. Up next is Blackface. Blackface Naija, once a superstar reggae singer and co-writer for Tubaba's iconic African Queen, was the first to be reckoned with in the Nigerian music scene. As one of the founding members of Plantation Boys, alongside Tubaba and Faze, Blackface rose to stardom. Their tours, fame, and wealth seemed endless. But when Tubaba decided to go solo, the group dissolved, and that's when Blackface's luck took a nosedive. Determined to prove himself as a solo artist, Blackface struggled to regain the music, the magic that once made him a star. Unlike Tubaba and Faze, who went on to become even bigger names, Blackface couldn't replicate his former success. His solo career faltered, and the money that once flowed freely dried up. Struggling financially, Blackface found himself in constant legal battles, accusing Tubaba of stealing his songs, claims that ultimately fell apart in court, leaving Blackface nothing but a damaged reputation. To make matters worse, Tubaba countersued for defamation, and Blackface was left facing the possibility of a hefty financial blow. What was once a dream turned tragic, as the man who once had it all now finds himself struggling in the shadow of his former glory. Next is Baba Fryo. Born Friday Igwe, he was once the life of every party in the 90s. He ruled the airwaves with his iconic hits like Dem Go Dey Pose and Galala, alongside legends like Daddy Shoki. Famous for his eye patch, Baba Fryo's music in Pidgin captured the hearts of millions, and his name was on the lips of every music lover in Nigeria. But like many stars, the spotlight eventually faded and the hits stopped coming. Fast forward to today, Baba Fryo is a shadow of his former self. Once a millionaire from his chart-topping albums, he now finds himself begging Nigerians online for financial support, pleading for help to afford a life-saving surgery. His bank account, once brimming with success, is now empty. The same illness that drained his savings also forced him to sell off his properties just to get by. In a heartbreaking revelation, he even blamed his marriage to a fellow entertainer, regretting how it impacted his career. 2 years ago, he made a comeback with a follow-up to his hit Dem Go Dey Pose, but the magic of his prime is gone. Baba Fryo's tragic fall is a sobering reminder of how fleeting fame and fortune can be. Next, we have Epha Uzi. He was once the pride of Nigerian football, a brilliant left-back and a key figure in the Super Eagles from 2000 to 2004. He was one of the most sought-after players in Nigeria. His exceptional talent earned him moves to renowned clubs like AEK Athens and West Bromwich Albion, where he played alongside some of the best in the game. Uzi was living the dream. His name was on everyone's lips, millions in the bank, and his future looking as bright as the floodlights of any stadium. But as quickly as his career soared, it plummeted into the abyss. Uzi's fortune turned dark when he fell into a vicious cycle of gambling, excessive clubbing, and a reckless lifestyle that drained his bank account. He squandered his hard-earned money on gambling, extravagant nights out, and women who only deepened his downfall. When his career stalled and clubs stopped calling, Uzi found himself back in Nigeria, broke and broken. To make matters worse, he was spotted in the streets of Ajegunle, indulging in his old vices, drinking ogogoro and gambling away what little he had left. But after hitting rock bottom, Uzi has found redemption. He is now rehabilitated and working as a radio host at Brila FM in Abuja, sharing his story and giving hope to others who have fallen. Next is Taribo West. Once hailed as one of the most successful Nigerian defenders in football history, he seemed unstoppable in his prime. With a career that took him to the heights of European football, playing for giants like Inter Milan and AC Milan, Taribo was not just a star, but a legend. His key role in Nigeria's dream team, leading them to victory at the 1996 Olympics, cemented his place among footballing royalty. The wealth poured in as he played on the grandest stage of Europe, living a life most could only dream of. But the glory days didn't last forever. Taribo's fall from grace was swift and brutal. After retiring and returning to Nigeria, his fortune crumbled due to bad investments and a troubled marriage that took everything from him. Like the ex-footballer himself admitted, the once great player now finds himself bankrupt, a shadow of his former self. Yet, in the midst of this tragedy, Taribo says he has been called by God and now serves as a general overseer in a Lagos church. From a football legend to a broken man, Taribo's story is a painful reminder of how quickly fortune can fade. If you're enjoying the video so far, kindly hit the like button as well as subscribe to our channel to always stay updated with our videos. Ranking at number 10 on this list is Celestine Babayaro. Celestine Babayaro was once the heartbeat of Nigerian national team, a left back with dazzling skills and the heart of a lion. From 1995 to 2004, he made waves on the field, representing Nigeria in 2 World Cups, 2 Olympic appearances, and the African Cup of Nations. His time in the Premier League, playing for Chelsea and later Newcastle, saw him cemented as a standout player, beloved by fans for his energy and versatility. But behind the glory and accolades, Celestine's life took a dark turn. Known for his lavish lifestyle, he spent his billions as if they would never run out: luxury cars, designer clothes, and grand parties. However, he forgot one thing: to save for the rainy days. The inevitable storm came when bills piled up and creditors came knocking. In a cruel twist of fate, Babayaro was dragged to court by those he owed, and his once glorious career seemed to crumble under the weight of unpaid debts. From the top of the football world to declaring bankruptcy, Celestine Babayaro's tragic fall is a stark reminder even legends aren't immune to the harsh realities of poor financial decisions. Number 9 is Idris Abdulkareem. The rapper who once ruled the Nigerian music scene is now a shadow of his former self. A force to be reckoned with in the late 90s and early 2000s, Idris took the industry by storm with his powerful lyrics that fearlessly attacked social issues, political corruption, and the Nigerian government. He was a member of the famous group The Remedies, but his solo career truly skyrocketed after hits like Mr. Lecturer, Oko Ashewo, and Jaga Jaga. These songs earned him multiple awards and the respect of millions. However, as the years passed, Idris began to lose his footing in the industry. The younger generation took over and his relevance slowly faded. What followed was a tragic financial downfall. Once a household name, Idris found himself in deep financial trouble. Desperate, he was forced to publicly beg for financial support to undergo a life-threatening surgery. The surgery, which almost cost him his life, left him relying on the generosity of fans and well-wishers. Miraculously, he survived, but the pain of his fall from grace lingers. Idris' story is a heartbreaking reminder that fame can be fleeting and the cost of fame's decline can be devastating. Number 8 is Stereo Man. Sunday Osakuni, better known by his stage name Stereo Man, was once a rising star in the Nigerian music scene. Hailing from Delta State, he burst into the limelight in the 2000s with his hit track "It Dey Pain Me," which became a street anthem and a gold mine for the singer. Fame and money flowed in, and it seemed like Stereo Man had it all. But just as quickly as he rose to the top, everything came crashing down. In 2012, at the peak of his career, tragedy struck when he was accused of the murder of Rekia Idris, the mother of his only child. Their relationship had soured, and Stereo Man, being the prime suspect, was arrested after a rushed investigation. With little to defend himself, he was swiftly thrown into jail, and the music industry that once adored him turned its back. His brand deals disappeared, and his credibility shattered. Years later, Stereo Man was exonerated, and his innocence fully proved. Yet, the years lost behind bars left a permanent scar. Now, the once promising star struggles to regain his place in an industry that had once been his kingdom. Number 7 is Mohammed Yusuf. Once a force to be reckoned with on the football field, he had a career that soared higher than anyone could have imagined. As a key defender for the Super Eagles, he was in high demand, playing for some of Europe's and Asia's most prominent clubs. His prime was a golden era, unstoppable, respected, and adored. Then came the move to Sudanese club Al Hilal, a decision that seemed like the next big step in his career. But things took an unexpected turn when he sought a switch to FC Sion. A failed medical ruined that move, and instead he signed a 3-year deal before returning to Al Hilal. However, the story took a tragic twist. Behind the scenes, Yusuf faced deep personal battles. Rumors circulated of him developing serious mental health issues, leading to a time in rehab. What followed next shocked the world. He was spotted on the streets of Kano, not as a celebrated footballer, but as an Amajiri begging for survival. Once a hero, Mohammed Yusuf's fall from grace is a heartbreaking reminder of how fame, money, and glory can vanish, leaving nothing but memories. And number 6 is Olu Maintain. The man who made the mid-2000s unforgettable with his evergreen hit Yahuze once seemed destined for superstardom. His infectious track took over the airwaves, and we all believed he was raking in millions from the song. However, the truth behind the Yahuze success story is far from what we imagined. By 2018, rumors began to swell that the once celebrated musician was struggling to meet his financial obligation. Living in a modest rented apartment in Ikeja, Lagos, Olu Maintain was thrown out of the apartment for failing to pay overdue rent. How the mighty had fallen. Speculation about his sudden financial troubles had run rampant. Some claimed the Yahuze song didn't bring in the fortune we thought it did, while others wondered why he vanished from the music scene after that one hit. Even more tragic is his decision to cut ties with key individuals who had played a significant role in his rise, including his producer Puffy T and co-writer LKT. Olu Maintain's story stands as a reminder of how fleeting fame and fortune can be. We can only hope he finds solace in whatever path he chooses next. Number 5 on the list is Ernest Asuzu, popularly known as El Cream. He was once the shining star of Nollywood, a talented actor and musician. He burst onto the scene in the 90s, captivating audiences with his standout role in the iconic Nollywood classic Ritual in 1997. His acting career flourished from there, with numerous films and awards under his belt, earning him thousands of naira for his significant contributions to Nigerian cinema. However, behind the glitz and tragedy struck. Asuzu was later diagnosed with a dilapidating illness that left him bedridden for months. The actor, who had once commanded attention with his charisma and presence, now faced mounting medical bills. Rumors began to swell that he had been abandoned by the Actors Guild of Nigeria, a heartbreaking turn for someone who had given so much to the industry. In desperation, Ernest turned to Prophet Jeremiah Omoto Fufeyin for help. He visited the church where he received prayers, and some some financial support for surgery, even an SUV to help his mobility. Yet, despite these efforts, the tragedy deepened. Ernest passed away suddenly in 2021 at just 37. The talented life lost too soon. May his soul rest in peace. Number 4 is Uche Odoputa. Once a household name in Nollywood, captivated audiences with his unique acting skill in the early 2000s. As a veteran actor, producer, and director, Uche graced our screens and became one of the pillars of Nollywood's booming movie industry. He starred in several hit films, winning awards and raking in revenue. For a while, it seemed like the sky was the limit for the talented actor. But as time passed, things took a tragic turn. Roles became scarce, and the offers that once flowed freely vanished. The actor who had once lived in luxury was suddenly struggling to feed his family. Desperate to maintain a semblance of normal life, he sold off most of his properties, but nothing seemed to improve. With no way out and feeling vulnerable, Uche fell prey to the wrong crowd. Lured by friends in London, he found himself entangled in drug peddling, a decision that would change his life forever. Caught in his first attempt, Uche served a 2-year jail sentence. Upon release, the actor expressed deep regret, promising never to make such a mistake again. His fall from grace left many heartbroken, but his honesty and remorse offered a glimpse of hope for redemption. Number 3 is Etim Esin. He was once Nigeria's football jewel, a dribbling maestro with skills that earned him the nickname African Maradona. In the 80s, he was the heartbeat of the Nigerian national team, making waves before the era of JJ Okocha. But just when the world seemed to be at his feet, Etim's career took a tragic turn. In 1987, as the under-20 team prepared for the World Cup in Chile, Etim's youthful exuberance got the better of him. Ignoring street orders, he sneaked out of camp to taste Lagos's nightlife. That night, fate dealt a cruel blow. The young star and his teammates were ambushed by armed robbers. In the chaos, Etim was shot. Though he received quick medical attention, his injury left him unfit for the tournament. Despite this, he traveled with the team to Chile, only for Nigeria to falter early and failed to make it past the group stage. Etim recovered and played in Belgium, but his temper and poor attitude sabotaged his career. He was later accused of a heinous crime which nearly destroyed him. Though he was vindicated, he returned to Nigeria broken, debt-ridden, and without savings. His talent no longer enough to save him from his own demons. Number 2 is Michael Efe. Michael Efe Ejeba, the charismatic winner of Big Brother Nigeria 2017, had the world at his feet. With his famous catchphrase based on logistics, Efe became a household name, winning hearts and a 25 million naira cash prize, plus a flashy SUV. Life seemed perfect for the young star as he walked out of the Big Brother house into a world of endless opportunities. And appointed as an ambassador for Indian varsity, he seemed poised for greatness. But once the spotlight dimmed, reality hit hard. Efe, eager to maintain his fame, ventured into the movie industry, releasing tracks like Worry, Based on Logistics, Agege, and I Love You. However, the industry proved tougher than expected, and despite his star power, success remained elusive. The buzz quickly faded, leaving many fans wondering what went wrong. Rumors of failed investments and financial mismanagement began to swirl, and soon the once flourishing star was left struggling. From riches to rags, Efe now faces a bitter reality, a cautionary tale of fame, quick success, and even quicker falls. What happened to the Big Brother winner? Well, based on logistics, not much has worked out. Finally, at number 1 is marvelous Benji, once a Nigerian music icon, taking the country by storm in the early 2000s. His reggae and dancehall hits like Swore, Market, Them No Like Us, It's a Party, and the unforgettable Galala New Dance made him a household name. Signed to Kenny's Music, one of Nigeria's top record labels at the time, Benji's songs echoed through the streets of Alaba and beyond, earning him fame, fortune, and the adoration of fans nationwide. With the wealth came luxury, multiple hotels in Benin, a string of successful beer spots, and a beautiful house in Lagos. Life seemed perfect for the Ajengule-born star who had it all. But then came the crash. After marrying his Polish lover Yenegua, the world started to crumble. Financially, Benji hit rock bottom. Reports suggested that the once celebrated crooner was forced to sell everything from his beer sports furniture to bottles, chairs, and plates, all at bargain prices. The lavish lifestyle he had built collapsed, and he was left struggling to rent a modest apartment in his hometown. The fall from grace was as swift as his rise. Alright guys, we've come to the end of the video where we looked at celebrities who went broke after making millions. And I pray for you before I go that may you never encounter a setback in your career that would lead you to lose everything you have. Type amen in the comment section to claim this prayer, and I'll see you in the next video on your screen.